Yeah. Like I said, Senate. Do I need to say more? The Ottawa Senators, right? And Canada came out of the British Empire, which spawned America. Okay. America is that lamb-like beast. Okay. Right. And Britain goes back to the lion. Okay. And of course, that wings have been clipped a long time ago. That's just tongue in cheek. I'm just talking here. You don't have to jump in that. But Britain represents the lion. Britain as a lion symbol, and uh, Canada was part of the British Empire, right? Still have some of the money with the Queen on it. Okay, to be clear, right? So that's the historical aspect. But we're looking at the term beast here. So I'm going to keep reading. I might just read to 3, right? And it gives you a description. And the beast which I saw was likened unto a leopard, right? I'm not going to go into that. The history, going into Alexander, blah, blah, blah. No, excuse me, Media and Persia, excuse me, right? And so forth. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to go into the history. I just wanted to show you what the beasts represent going back to pagan Rome and the principles. Bear with me. Okay. And I saw one of its heads as if it were wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed. Okay. See that? And then it goes down to say, and they worship the dragon. And they worship the dragon, all right? The dragon here, again, it goes back to pagan Rome, right? Or Satan, simply put, okay? Right? Or Satan, right? Which gave power onto the beast system. So there you have it, right? I told you yes, 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 and then I said no. Simply put, the beast there in modern terms represents the NATO and the EU. NATO and the EU. And I said to you the precursor, they were part of that. Canada was part of that 1920 League of Nations, LON. Okay? But the beast there, this beast, which has its principles in Rome, represents NATO and the EU. Okay? Now let's get to the 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? And that's what I jumped over there, going back to the first verse so that you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, just going back to the first verse, Revelation 13:1, and I stood up on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? So the 7 heads, Canada goes back to, like I said, in NATO. Okay, they're a part of those 7 heads. They're one of those nations that's recognized. Okay, but I'm not going to read. You can go look it up. The 7 heads and the 10 horns. Okay, the horns going back to the EU nations. There's more now. Okay, it's more than 17 nations. There's more than 17 nations now. They're all allies. That represents NATO and the EU. Okay, so that's it. I just gave you. I read it to you. You can go back and check it in Wikipedia, and you'll see that Canada is part of NATO. So I gave you the historical receipt, and now I'm giving you the divine receipt, right? So the beast, this is the key here. When you go into verse 3, and also symbolically and prophetically in verse 1, talking about NATO and the EU with the principles of Rome, all right? So yes, they're going in the right direction. And I'll prove that. Let's go to Revelation 17 in closing, right? Because I plan not to go too long in this lesson so that you'll be able to digest what is being said. So yes, this is Revelation 17. So I'm going to show you, give you the receipts for America now in prophecy, right? Cosmic conflict is coming. Right? Cosmic conflict is coming. Cosmic conflict is coming. Okay? Let's look at America now. Okay. Remember, as a matter of fact, you know what? Let's go back to it. I just want to show you back in Revelation 13 before I jump. Okay? So let's go back there. 1 second. Let's go back to Revelation 13:1 first before we go to 17. So bear with me. Right? I just want to show you something about the woman. Woman, bear with me. Woman. Okay. Okay. I haven't gone to this in a long time. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, let's just go to it. I'm just going to go back to Revelation 17. Bear with me. Okay, just to prove that, and then we'll move on. Okay, so yes, Revelation 17:1. So this is America now. I know I have the Canadian flag up here, but they're allies. All right, they're allies. Right, and like I said, when you do the research, you'll see that Canada came out of the British Empire, just like America did. Okay, right, and their role. So it says, Revelation 17:1. I'm going to might read to 3. It says, one of the 7 angels. I'm going to read today from the NLT, and I'm going to read it verbatim, simply put. And